Welcome to the Andrew Van Zard Podcast,
your number one source of entertainment.
Disclaimer: all the information was taken from www.allmusic.com.
Hello and welcome to the Andrew Van Zard Podcast. Today, we're going to talk about the biography of Malcolm Young, the rhythm and guitarist of AC/DC and many other bands. He was a great musician, a great guitarist, and he was not also a great musician, but also a great person, a great human being. He would give a lot of creativity to the band AC/DC and many others that he worked in and produced with. Now, talking a little bit about Malcolm Young's artist information. He was active from 1970 to 2010, and he was born in January 6 of 1953 in Glasgow, Scotland. He died in November 18th of 2007 in Sydney, Australia. He would play in the genres of pop and rock. The styles he would go with was album rock, Aussie rock, and hard rock. Members of AC/DC, Marcus Hook and Roll Band, and the Velvet Underground. Going back in time to the biography of Malcolm Young by Greg Prato. His young lead guitarist playing brother, Angus, may be the main attraction of AC/DC in concert, but rhythm guitarist Malcolm Young was the band's musical anchor. Born in January 6, 1953, in Glasgow, Scotland, Malcolm and his family relocated to Sydney, Australia when he was 10 years old. Inspired by his older brother, George, who hit it big as a member of the Easy Beats, scoring a worldwide smash with Friday on My Mind, young Malcolm began playing guitar in local bands, one being the Velvet Underground, not the same VU as the one fronted by Lou Reed. By 1973, Malcolm decided to join forces with his younger brother, Angus, and after they lent their talents to an obscure recording, Marcus, Hook, Roll, and Band Tales of Old Grandaddy, the duo formed AC/DC. Although they went through numerous lineup changes, by the time the lineup consisted of the singer Bon Scott, drummer Phil Rudd, and the bassist Mark Evans in 1974. The band had already carved its niche straight ahead on glamorous rock and roll and was signed. You are listening to
the Andrew Van Zard Podcast.
Don't forget to follow me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Snapchat. The band became a must-see live attraction due to Angus' wildman persona, but Malcolm created a quiet and poisoned figure on stage standing stoically while bashing out Chuck Berry's Eskeet riff on his better Gretsch Jet Firebird guitar. AC/DC's brand of thought, Barroomed Boogies, created quite a stir with both metalheads and fans of just good old rock and roll, who were sick of progressive rock and disco. Issuing a string of classic albums in process, 1976, High Voltage, and Dirty Deeds Done Dirt Cheap. In 1977, Let There Be Rock. In 1978, Power Age and If You Want Blood. In 1979, Highway to Hell. With massive breakthroughs, success just around the corner. The band was dealt with a devastating blow when Scott died from alcohol poisoning in early 1980s, but AC/DC regrouped with a new singer, Brian Johnson, and returned stronger than ever with one of rock and roll's all-time classic and bestseller, Back in Black. You are listening to
the Andrew Van Zard Podcast.
Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel and also click the bell to get notified. The quintet spent the rest of the decade churning out albums and touring the world, but shortly after the release of their 1988 album, Pull Up Your Video, Malcolm realized that lifelong alcohol addiction had spiraled dangerously out of control. Not wanting to follow the footsteps of Scott, Young took a nephew, Stevie Young, filled in for Malcolm during the band's world tour that year. When he returned, AC/DC picked up just where they left off, releasing one of their most commercially successful albums yet in 1990s, The Razor's Edge, and continuing their album tour routine for the remainder of the decade and beyond. However, in April of 2014, Malcolm left AC/DC. His last live performance with the group had actually been in 2010. Upon the announcement that health issues were making him unable to continue performing, and in September of that year was reported that the guitarist was suffering from dementia. Malcolm's nephew Stevie joined the band full-time upon his uncle's departure. Malcolm Young died in November of 2017 at the age of 64. His sturdy rhythm guitar style had influenced a legion of hard rock players over the years, namely Metallica's James Hetfield and Guns N' Roses' Izzy Stradlin. Well, that is all that I have to today, Sarks. Thanks for listening to the Andrew Van Sark podcast, and as you can see, we lost a great rhythm guitarist and a great human being. He was a great creative person for AC/DC and all the performances he did and all the bands he performed in. And we lost him recently in November 2017 at the age of 64 by dementia. He will be deeply missed, and his guitar riffing will live on. Don't forget to follow me on YouTube and click the bell to get notified. Super important. Alright? Also on Twitter, Facebook, and Snapchat under Andrew Van Sark. So as always, I'll catch you on the flip side. Adios, amigos! You are listening to
The Andrew Van Sark Podcast.
your number one source of entertainment.